long time ago, somewhere, sometime in the 1900s, somewhere before World War I, during in the planet Earth, daring the place Cherbourg, two ships were launched. Two ships were about to be launched. Number one was launched first. After it was launched, the second one was launched also. Number one was named MV Legacy, and the second one was named MV Century. But little does Kingdom Line know, the owner of those ships, they would find out that they were going to be successful in their career. 3 months later, after they got fitted out, MV Legacy and MV Century were on their maiden voyage from Cherbourg to Southampton. They both went there, same time, same speed. They also went side by side, together. But they know, the crew will find out that those two ships would be very, very successful after World War I. After their maiden voyage, they started to get more successful due to their luxury and to them being more very, very identical, which made the middle class to have its own rival. This was taken during their second voyage. They united with each other again in Halifax. The passengers were celebrating since they were reunited again. It was about to become a good, very main event someday in Cherbourg to see those two ships and they are museums in the future. It will also become a hotel ship in the future also. This was planned for them to be in the future museum hotel ships in Cherbourg in the same docks, same place. But how they were planning, something happened in 1914. The outbreak of World War I has begun. Every ocean liners and ships have to become merchant troop ships or hospital ships. MV Legacy and MV Century became transport troop ships. They would always go to the same voyage together to protect themselves. Many people thought that MV Legacy and MV Century were the most safest ships during World War I. But one day, MV Century was by itself. While they broke control, it almost hit the oil rig and almost caught on fire. But it survived. It was able to set sail again for the rest of World War I with MV Legacy. They survived the entire World War I. When peace was finally declared in 1918, World War I ended, but MV Legacy and MV Century stayed in the exact same dock for more than 2 years to 3 years. But after that, in 1921, they were brought back to service as ocean liners again. MV Legacy went on a voyage on itself at night to the morning. But then one day in Sirport, a foggy day, and the Legacy was getting ready to go, just on a voyage. But then, the metal-class ship and RMS Admiral AC collided with it, but they couldn't see, since it's the fog, which left them very damaged. MV Admiral AC was towed back to docks, but MV Legacy stayed there, seriously damaged. Until another Kingdom Line ship, RMS Mint, arrived, taking Legacy back to docks and to get it fixed for the next voyage. But then, 2 days later, MV Century got into a problem. MV Century started to take damage. The passengers went to check what was going on, and then they saw a tornado nearby in Southampton. The crew made MV Century to go on full speed to escape the tornado, but it was taking too much damage that's making the speed to go down. Century survived the tornado, but seriously damaged. 2 months later, they were brought back into service. They were too famous that they got their own advertisement. The Legacy and the Century from Kingdom Line. Everything would go so good. Until... SOS, this is MV Sam. The crew for MV Sam. We are sinking fast. We need assistance immediately. We are in the Halifax to Cherbourg route. We need assistance immediately. MV Legacy was involved in MV Sam, one of Kingdom Line's old ship. It was sinking immediately, and MV Century was too nearby, so it arrived. MV Legacy was nicknamed the hero ship of Kingdom Line. But then, in 1939, World War II broke out. All ships were required to join the war immediately. When Kingdom Line got the news, they put MV Legacy and MV Century into war service instantly after that. MV Legacy and MV Century were too impossible to be sunk, just like SS Metal and SS Great Kingdom during their wartime service. As you can also see, they almost hit the oil brake, which almost caused MV Legacy to catch on fire. They would mostly go in the night, due to their stealth. They were like an unstoppable duo, but MV Legacy would have suffered the most instead of MV Century during World War II. In November 12th, MV Legacy was bombed and ambushed by aircraft carrier and bombers. People did not survive. Some people were rescued, but they were kidnapped after that. MV Century heard the distress signal after that and went instantly to the wreckage to look for survivors, but there was no survivors there. Everyone died or were taken. In 1943, MV Century always got a bunch of Dazzle livery makeovers, but then, 2 days later, MV Century hit a mine, but survived. V Century would be the only ship in the Legacy class to survive World War II and to be in service for now. In 1945, World War II ended, but only a few ships from Kingdom Line survived. These ships were RMS Mint, SS Metal, MV N2T2L, RMS M521L, SS Fiction, RMS M1T5L, SS Victor, SS Solo Spider, TS Bella, RMS Omega, MV Admiral Dark Ghost, SS Josh, and MV Century. Kingdom Line got some good news. MV Legacy's wreck was found in very good condition, so they decided to raise it. During the 1950s, MV Legacy and MV Century went very successful, but not as more successful than SS Metal now, who got seriously more popular in first place, but MV Legacy and MV Century are in second and third place. In the 1960s, everything MV Century was planned to have 3 funnels for an upgrade refit. That went horrible. MV Century instead got the 2 funnels removed and only got 1 in the middle. But the one that suffered the most was MV Legacy. On June 13, MV Legacy hit the oil rig in Call Fire. While escaping, MV Legacy hit an old mine from World War II, which caused MV Legacy to sink. MV Legacy only took an hour and 15 minutes to sink fully. Kingdom Line wasted more than $1.5 million onto trying to raise MV Legacy back to surface and fix it. It worked, but they moved the second funnel to the middle. But Kingdom Line started to make a downfall due to them wasting most of their money on MV Legacy and MV Century with their problems. 2 weeks later, MV Legacy had a massive problem, which caused Kingdom Line to forget about it. So one day, MV Legacy was on a voyage to Southampton to New York. Everything was relaxing until when it became foggy again. The wave was fast. The speed of the wave was super fast that MV Legacy couldn't see anything, not even the crew. The crew thought that they were going to be safe, but Captain Dark Ghost said, "Nah, I think we're good." But then something horrible happened. MV Legacy beached itself, which caused every passengers to worry. The crew tried to calm them down, but Captain Dark Ghost jumped overboard to not be the problem and to escape everything. But then MV Legacy got out of it, but was seriously injured, which caused Dark Ghost to stay in the island forever. 2 hours later, MV Legacy was out and was getting ready to go back to sailing to New York. Everything went smoothly until 2 hours later, MV Legacy got stuck. The propellers and the engine broke down, so RMS Reliable Kingdom arrived and rescued the passengers. MV Legacy's wreck stayed there for 10 years. In the 1970s, Kingdom Line had sold MV Century to scrap. Since they were losing many money, they also had to scrap SS Metal, SS Silver Spider, and many more. Kingdom Line had enough of leaving the MV Legacy's wreck behind, so they took it back to Halifax and they got ready to scrap it. Many people thought that it was the end of the Legacy and Century class. Well, Kingdom Line had a ship planned. Kingdom Line's darling MV Generation was launched, and it was in the Legacy and Century class. It was luxury and perfect. It was a huge success since many people loved MV Generation because it had many artifacts of MV Legacy and MV Century. which made Kingdom 9 back to the rise again. During MV Generation's first voyage, it went very smoothly, peaceful, and cheerful. Then the crew gave the passengers a party to celebrate MV Generation. But then a storm came in, but many people didn't worry. MV Generation was gonna be fine. When MV Generation arrived in Cherbourg, the home place of MV Legacy and MV Century, many people didn't want to get off due to Generation being too luxury. They decided to stay until their next voyage, but then a tornado came in, which caused MV Generation to get ready to escape now. MV Generation became more popular every year in Kingdom 9 history. MV Generation was like an avenge for MV Legacy and MV Century. This is the end of Rise, Fall, and last but not least, Redemption.
I am Metal 24569, and thank you for watching this movie.